When I first read this year's competition of Job Corps works, it works for me too. My first instinctual thought was that I work by myself. I either succeeded or failed, depending entirely upon myself. My father had always defined success as not obtaining and reaching 100%, but as rather going the distance and grasping 110% in his fist and making it his. You see, my family is not average by any means. We work. All we do is work. It runs in his blood, my blood, and the blood of the generations to come. You see, I was raised in a house of labor, duty, discipline, and fear. This fear was different, however. It was not the fear of losing one's life. Rather, it was the fear of becoming worthless and letting everyone down. In order to eat, you had to work. Sleep, work. Clothing, work. Live, work. We are a very task-oriented family, putting work above most things. I was taught what sacrifice was as a young age, but I learned what it really meant as a teen. You see, this economy is one of pain, hatred, continuous letdown, and extreme disappointment. I learned this firsthand. I've worked all day, jobs, you name it, and I've probably done it. Work was all I did, and above all, it was who I was. I even worked for free just to keep in motion. But you know what? I was happy. I had friends, family, food, a house, and a girlfriend who loved me. And most of all, I was working. But I was not successful by any means. The company I worked for wouldn't hire me after my internship, and I was out of a job, out of school, and falling into a seemingly endless pit of despair. I lost my family, my girlfriend, and I started losing my friends. I felt worthless, useless, a drain, and a burden. My family began to fight about me, and I began to doubt even living. Reality was slipping away, and death's whisper was ever caressing and forever enticing. But my mother presented me with a gift, a second gift of life. But this life was gained through Job Corps. I doubted it entirely, feeling that it was pointless and I would never be accepted. But my father and mother pushed me so hard and continuously that Job Corps taught me its first lesson: hope. I prayed, called, and pestered endlessly, day after day, until my voice was heard and my application finally pushed through. I had received my call. The cold embrace and ever-present call of depression and suicide had vanished, and life began anew. I'm a very self-conscious person. In order to feel smart, I have to show up by the means of my classwork, and the same goes for my personal and public success. My father always gave 110% at work, and father like son, so shall I. And I now realize why we felt that way. It's because we are surrounded by strangers, people of the unknown, unrelated, and unrelentlessly judging. It is no longer that I feel this way, however. I've been taught that not everyone cares or will even look in your general direction. I learned what happiness is, how it truly feels, and I also learned how to be human. I have triumphed at getting into and being enrolled in Job Corps, but I will succeed when I leave it. Job Corps taught me that blood does not always run thicker than water. I can do what I put my mind to, and that I can love what I do, and above all, who I am. All I ever saw was work, and all I did was love to work. I never loved what I was doing. My vision of love was a lie, and it was a lie I taught myself and followed to the ends of my world, which ultimately led me to my destruction. I had always doubted myself, and if I had never failed, I would beat myself up with absolutely no remorse. Now, however, I walk with my head held high, confident in the fact that I'm not perfect, but if I so happen to stumble, I will live, life will go on, and not everyone will leave me, hate me, or be disgusted by me because I have failed. I learned I do not have to be a workaholic to be happy. I learned to count my blessings, and I learned how to find happiness in even the smallest of things. I learned how to live. My name is Antonio Cesar Garcia Mendoza. I'm a residential student at the Phoenix, Arizona Job Corps Center. I'm a sergeant in my security, and my goal is to enlist in our United States Military Army Rangers or Phoenix Police Department, and then to become a teacher. I will become what I aspire to be, and I will leave behind an example for those to follow. I will lead the Phoenix Job Corps successfully, and I'll tell of its teachings and how it changed my life. I will forever remember where I came from, and I will teach my family the true pursuit of happiness, the one Job Corps introduced, what I adopted, adapted, and made my own. All this accredited to the teachings, philosophies, and values fostered by Phoenix Job Corps. That is how Job Corps works, and that's how it worked for me. Thank you. Thank you.